All right, how's it going, everybody? Well, I'm on a roll. This is my fourth card reveal video of the day. This is going to be another 21 card reveal. I got a bunch of cards back at the beginning of the year. I've been sitting on them. I got a new camera, and I was trying to figure out how to get the video recording working on the camera, and couldn't get it to focus like my old phone does. So I'm back using my old phone just to make these videos after unsuccessfully trying many times with my new phone. That camera's too complicated. This one just does a great job. But anyway, I'm Gary Gore, 1960, GARYGOR 1960. That's my YouTube channel, where I do a lot of card reveal videos. I used to do music videos. I used to be a concert promoter and band manager, so there's a lot of music videos on there too from the old days. But I've made the switch over to card reveals. But this one is going to be, there was a special, was it 80s through 90s PSA had for like $17, $18 a card. So I did a whole bunch of Gretzky's. I already made a video about that. And this is mostly junk wax. And you know what? Don't bother getting junk wax graded. They're extremely hard on it. And even if you get a good grade, unless it's a 10, it ain't worth squat. So I wasted a lot of money here, but I'm going to show them anyway. Well, anyway, here we go. There's a 1989 Topps Randy Johnson rookie. I don't see a thing wrong with it, but, you know, they hate junk wax. So I got a PSA 8. Back looks clean to me. Maybe it's a little faded. Maybe the black's a little faded. Anyway, next up, 1987 Fleer, George Brett. I was hoping for a 10 on this one. Got an 8. Wasted 20 bucks. But anyway, hopefully I'll get 15 bucks for it. There you go. George Brett 1987 Fleer. It's a nice looking card. It's a nice looking set. But like I said, PSA hates junk wax. PSA 8. Here's one of the variations of the Billy Ripken F face error combination. There's like 4 of them. This is the black box over the end of the bat. It's probably the most common of the cards. I had recently sent in an FF variation that I got back, and it came back PSA 9 with an ST qualifier, and there must have been a little bit of wax on there or something. I don't know. I pulled that one out of a pack back in '89. I had about 10 of them, and that was the last of the ones I had. I got it graded 9, stain qualifier. This is the variation 7. Maybe I'll get 15 bucks for this. That's a waste of 20 bucks. This one with Ricky Henderson just dying. I had a couple of 1983 Granny Goose sets, which is a regional set out in Oakland area in the late 80s, early 80s. Granny Goose potato chips. This is the Ricky Henderson from the set. I have a whole set of them. This is with the coupon removed. There's also, I have another set with the coupons on it, so I'm going to get that graded at some point too. But this came back a 7. What are you going to do? It's kind of rare, so, you know, maybe I'll get 30 bucks for it. I don't know. So right now I'm losing. I'm in the hole. And as I've said in other videos, I'm working on a 1980 Topps hockey going on 20 years now, and I've told the whole story about how I used to buy wax boxes for 400. I had a bunch of high grades commons laying around in boxes for years that I thought I'd see if I could improve on my set. I already got this card as a 9 in my set. Thought it was at least a 9. Thought I'd get it in a new holder, but came back in 8, so it's going to be for sale. This one, I don't know why. I guess there's a touch of wear on the upper right corner. Microscopic touch of wear. I thought this was going to be a 9 for sure. Solid 9. Maybe even a 10. Although it's hard to get some 10s because the backs of these are notoriously off-center. And as you can see, the back of this is off-center. I'm not sure how much they took that into consideration. They never used to count it a lot before the new standards. But this came back a 7. It's not a high population card, and there's a few people looking to complete their sets, and there's certain cards, you know, if you can get them in a 6 or a 7 just to complete the set because there's such low population, then you're going to have to do that. Here's a 1989 OPC, Wayne Gretzky, season highlights. I had one of these in a 9 in a previous video. This one is an 8. This was 10 straight years of 40 goals or more. PSA 8, Wayne Gretzky season highlights. Alright, so here's one of those cards. I just had to bite the bullet and get them graded because I needed it desperately for my set. I sent in a couple of them. They're always off-center, but these, these were the nicest. If they weren't for the centering, these would be 9s or 10s. Here's the first one. Don Edwards, all-star, very low population. As you can see, it's off-center, left to right, and maybe a little top to bottom. That's why I got the 7. And the second version I sent in, like I said, I needed it for my set, and I was going for quantity. At least one of them would get a good grade. And when I looked at it on the reveal on the website, it said PSA 9, and I was like, oh yeah. Well, it doesn't display all the other characters because the grade only shows one character. So when I actually looked at it, it was a PSA 9 OC, and I was like, oh damn. But like the other one, which got a 7, this one is OC considerably top to bottom, a little bit left to right. Sharp card nonetheless. So I'm not sure if I would want a 9 OC or a 7 in my set. So I haven't decided yet what I'm going to put in there. Anyway, I had a nice 1987 OPC hockey set laying around. This was one of the better cards in the set. Got a good grade. Luke Robitaille, rookie. PSA 9, number 42, PSA 9 mint. I think in this condition it's worth like $100. I'd have to look again. But anyway. Here's a card I had that I got back in 1990. It's been in a top loader for 35 years. I finally got it graded. Shouldn't have wasted my time. What are you going to do? PSA 8, Emmett Smith, rookie, Flair update, number U40. And once upon a time, I got all these oddball sets. You saw a Granny Goose set for the A's. I also got a 1982 high-grade Montreal Expos set. I believe high-grade is a meat product. And the back is entirely in French. There was actually a lot of good players on the Expos this year. Tim Raines, Hall of Famer. So I sent this in to see how they would do. This one got a PSA 9. Tim Raines, 1982 high-grade Expos. As I said, the back, all French. I have no idea what it says, but still a cool looking card. I'm thinking of starting a set registry set for them. And here's another one, 1982 high-grade Expos. Gary Carter. Remember him from the Mets? But anyway, 1982 high-grade Expos. Gary Carter, number 8. PSA 9 mint. There's another one. I was a Baltimore Orioles collector, so I had a whole ton of Cal Ripken cards. That's why I had the Billy Ripken cards too. This is a 1984 Topps Nestle Cal Ripken Jr. hand cut, and I don't know who hand cut these, but there was a whole bunch of these in the market back in 1984. I thought I'd get it graded since it's a little bit rarer than the Topps regular issue, number 490. 1984 Topps Nestle Cal Ripken Jr. hand cut. PSA 8 near mint. And if you notice on the back, over the number 490 has the word Nestle. So I guess that's the only difference. And of course, there's this famous 1989 series of Randy Johnson, 1989 Fleer Randy Johnson era series. There's like 4 of them, different copyright issues on the scoreboard behind him. There was Coke on one of the scoreboards, and there was like Budweiser or something else. And so this is the last of the series of variations of this card. This is the one with the scoreboards completely blacked out, so there's no copyright infringements on the other products. Anyway, this came back as a PSA 8. Like I said, don't waste your time getting junk racks graded, folks. It's just a waste of money. Anyway, here's another card I needed for my 1980 Topps hockey set, PSA set registry set. This is number 128. Stan Smeel Canucks teams checklist. PSA 8. It's a hard one to get, one of the last ones. I only needed like 5 more cards for this, and I'm just biting the bullet. And you can see how far off center the back is, which is a problem on these 1980s. But that's what it is. It is what it is. There's a 1981 Topps Walter Payton. I pulled this out of a pack myself. I bought a bunch of, I think I bought a whole wax box one time, and I think the box was searched. Didn't get a Montana rookie. Some of the packs were suspicious, but I did pull this Payton out of there, and a bunch of comments. But anyway, I put it in a top loader for like 25 years and sent it in. Came back in 1981 Walter Payton, number 400, PSA 8. And I don't know, I've said this many times, but I was a Hartford Whalers season ticket holder. So I collected all sorts of Whaler stuff, including this oddball 1985 7-Eleven Ron Francis Mike Liute credit card. I don't know why this got a 7 as opposed to a 9. It looks fine to me. They just wanted to give it a 7, I guess, because what are you going to do? It's junk wax era. Number 7, 1985 7-Eleven Ron Francis Mike Liute credit card, PSA 7. 2 of my favorite players. Like I said, I used to have season tickets to the Hartford Whalers. And man, I still got a Whalers hat and a Whalers sweatshirt. Yeah, and on the back there was some blurb about the Whalers, collector series, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, it's kind of cool. I liked it. I don't know why I got a 7, but what are you going to do? There's another junk wax. Hey, I got a 9. What do you know? Nolan Ryan, 1989 Nolan Ryan, number 530, PSA 9 mint. Maybe that's worth 20 bucks, 25 bucks, I don't know. So a lot of these I lost my shirt on in this batch. But I am going to end up with a happy note. Remember I was talking about that 1982 high grade meats Montreal Expos. I sent in a couple others in this submission. And 1982 high grade Montreal Expos Tim Wallach, number 29, PSA 10, gem mint. So that's pretty nice. You can't get any better than that. The backs all say the same thing, it seems. But anyway, it's all in French. I wonder if that meat product was any good. And finally, look at this. 1982 high-grade Montreal Expos. Andre Dawson. PSA 10 Gem Mint, baby. Number 10. I know there's a lot of Andre Dawson collectors out there. These used to come in a little cellophane pack. It must have been in hot dogs or something, because I have this card in a pack, a cellophane pack as well, and I'm not sure whether I should break it out. It's a single card pack. Should I get it graded as a pack, or should I break it out and hope I get another 10? I don't know. Got to think this is worth like $100, $50 at least. But I know there's some Andre Dawson collectors out there. He's a very popular guy. But that's it for this batch. So I appreciate you watching, folks. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't already done so. Please share your comments, positive or negative. Let me know your thoughts. If you know anything about the high-grade Montreal Expos or the Granny Goose cards, I'm curious about those. I wound up picking up a couple of oddball sets from some auction one time. And they were grouped together. In fact, the high-grade Expos and the Granny Goose cards was one auction lot I won. But anyway, I'm Gary Gore, 1960. My YouTube channel, GARYGOR, 1960. My eBay seller ID, GARYGOR, Gary Gore. I really appreciate you watching. Have a good evening, folks. Thank you. Sorry this one's so long, too.